Here's something FIFA will never put on a billboard: the modern World Cup. The sponsors, the TV money, the entire machine wasn't built by FIFA. It was invented by a sportswear company. And the man who ran world football for nearly 2 decades, he was personally trained at that company's headquarters. You think 48 nations are fighting for one trophy. They're not. They're fighting inside a system that 2 corporations designed, funded, and quietly police: Nike and Adidas. This is how 2 brands took control of the biggest event on the planet and made you cheer for it. Number 8. The shirts on every back. Start with what's right in front of you. At the 2026 World Cup, Adidas dresses 14 nations and Nike 12. Together with Puma, 3 brands cover more than 3/4 of the entire field. And every single top-seeded nation wears Nike or Adidas. Not one exception. But a shirt isn't loyalty. It's a contract, and the highest bidder wins. Take the most iconic pairing in the sport's history: Adidas and Germany. 3 stripes on the national team since the 1954 final, 70 years. 6 World Cup titles between the men's and women's sides, supposedly unbreakable. Then in 2024, Nike reportedly offered around 100 million euros a year, roughly double what Adidas was paying. And from 2027, Germany will wear Nike, Adidas' own country, its founding identity, gone. German government ministers publicly called the decision wrong and mourned the loss of local patriotism. It didn't matter. The federation admitted it was simply the best offer on the table. 2026 is the last time you'll ever see Germany in 3 stripes, and that tells you exactly what these shirts really are. Number 7. The boots and the bodies. If the shirts belong to the federations, the boots belong to the brands directly. In one recent sample of 528 World Cup starters, around 85% wore Nike or Adidas on their feet. Nike with a slight edge at 232 players, Adidas at 218. Everyone else fought over the scraps. And the boots are just the start, because they don't only own the gear, they own the players. The Messi-Ronaldo rivalry that defined a generation. It was also a proxy war. Messi is Adidas, Ronaldo is Nike. Both signed lifetime deals. Ronaldo's reportedly structured toward $1 billion scale, binding their image to a single logo forever. Here's the strange part. Football boots have almost no everyday use. Nobody wears studs to brunch. So these deals aren't really about selling boots. They're about buying a player's entire legacy and turning the best athletes on earth into walking billboards. When Ronaldo scored twice against Uzbekistan at this very World Cup, that wasn't just a performance. For 90 minutes, it was an uninterrupted Nike commercial. They own the feet, but there's one object they own even more completely. Number 6. The one ball nobody else can make. 11 brands make shirts at this World Cup. How many make the ball? 1. Adidas has produced every official World Cup match ball since 1970. Over half a century with 0 competition. Under a FIFA deal locked in all the way to 2030. That's not just branding. It means one company controls the physics of the game itself. And in 2010, that nearly broke the tournament. Adidas's Jabulani ball was marketed as smoother and more accurate. Instead, it flew like nothing players had ever seen. England's goalkeeper called it dreadful. Brazil's Julio Cesar compared it to a cheap supermarket ball. They weren't whining. When NASA scientists later tested it with smoke and lasers, they found the ultra-smooth surface created a wild, unpredictable knuckleball effect at normal playing speed. A ball that swerved at random. They own the air around the stadium, and they'll prove it on your body. Number 5. Why you can be forced to watch in your underwear. To protect those deals, FIFA stops acting like a sports body and starts acting like a private police force. Around every World Cup stadium, it enforces restriction zones, roughly a kilometer where no unofficial brand is allowed to advertise at all. Why so aggressive? Because Nike spent years beating the system without paying for it. It's called ambush marketing, flooding a tournament with your brand while skipping the official sponsorship fee. Nike got so good at it that at the 2010 World Cup, it generated more buzz in Week 1 than FIFA's actual paying sponsors. So, FIFA cracked down hard. The most infamous case came at the 2006 World Cup. when officials stopped Dutch fans at the gates for wearing orange lederhosen made by a beer brand that wasn't the official sponsor. Fans with nothing else to change into were made to watch the match in their underwear to protect a beer contract. That's how far the machine will go to defend a few logos. And if they'll do that over a fan's trousers, imagine the suspicion when a World Cup final itself went wrong. Number 4. The final nobody could explain. The 1998 World Cup final. Brazil, the favorites against host nation France. Hours before kickoff, Brazil's superstar Ronaldo, the most marketable athlete on the planet, the face of Nike, suffered a violent convulsion in the team hotel. His name came off the team sheet. Then, minutes later, it went back on. He stumbled through the match like a sleepwalker. Brazil lost 3-0, their worst World Cup defeat in 68 years. And the world asked one question: why was a player who just had a seizure put back on the pitch? Brazil had recently signed a huge sponsorship deal with Nike, and the theory spread instantly that the sponsor had pressured the team to play its biggest star. It got so loud that Brazil's own parliament launched an inquiry. Their finding: Nike was cleared completely, and doctors concluded Ronaldo had suffered a stress-induced seizure. Nothing more. No proof of interference. But here's what matters. Millions of people found it entirely believable that a sportswear company could override a team's doctors at a World Cup final. That belief didn't come from nowhere. It came from cases like the next one. Number 3, Company A. In 2015, U.S. prosecutors blew the whole thing open. The Department of Justice indicted 14 football officials and marketing executives, detailing over $150 million in bribes spanning decades of the sport. They called it FIFA Gate. Buried in that indictment was a firm prosecutors only named Company A, a major U.S. sportswear brand widely identified in the press as Nike. The context was Brazil. In 1996, Nike had signed a landmark $160 million deal to outfit the Brazilian national team. But prosecutors alleged an extra $40 million in vague marketing fees was routed to a Swiss account tied to a middleman firm. Money, they argued, helped secure the deal. Nike pushed back hard, stating the documents did not accuse the company itself of a crime or claim its employees knowingly took part in any bribery scheme. No Nike executive was charged. Still, the picture was damning. The brand's rise in football wasn't purely clever marketing. It ran through the same murky money channels its rival had used decades earlier. And those channels reach all the way to deciding where the World Cup is even held. Number 2, buying a host nation. How do you get a World Cup? In 2006, the answer involved a secret slush fund. Germany won the right to host. And years later, an independent investigation by the law firm Freshfields traced a hidden €6.7 million payment at the heart of the bid. The money's original source: Robert Louis Dreyfus, the CEO of Adidas. He had quietly loaned millions to Germany's bid committee, led by the legend Franz Beckenbauer, allegedly to help swing crucial votes. Later, to repay it, the German Federation reportedly disguised the money as a payment for a FIFA gala that never happened, effectively using world football's own governing body to launder the repayment. When it surfaced, the German Federation's president resigned. No one was ultimately convicted. Much of it ran past the statute of limitations. But sit with what the reporting laid out. The head of Adidas helped finance the campaign that decided which country hosted the entire World Cup. These brands don't just show up at the tournament. They've been accused of choosing where it lands. And that's because, decades ago, one of them built the whole machine. Number 1, the man who built the machine. Before the 1970s, football federations had no idea their own tournaments were worth a fortune. Then one man changed everything: Horst Dassler, son of the founder of Adidas. He more or less invented modern sports marketing, convincing giants like Coca-Cola to pay for exclusive World Cup sponsorship and building the system that turns the tournament into billions. He didn't stop at money, he built relationships at the very top of FIFA. One investigative writer described his hold over the federation's president as that of a puppet master. His marketing firm, ISL, took over FIFA's commercial rights. And after ISL collapsed in 2001, court documents revealed it had paid out tens of millions in bribes to senior football officials over years. Then there's the detail that says it all. A young administrator was personally recruited to train at Adidas's headquarters, learning how the machine worked before moving to FIFA and eventually running it as president for nearly 2 decades. His name was Sepp Blatter. So when someone asks whether two brands really control the World Cup, understand this. One of them didn't just join the system. It designed it, funded it, and placed its own student at the head of football itself. So here's the truth. The World Cup isn't secretly run from some shadowy boardroom. It's hiding in plain sight, in the shirts, the boots, the ball, the rules, even the history books. When the 2026 final kicks off, look closely. Both teams will almost certainly wear Nike or Adidas. They'll kick an Adidas ball, and who this changed the way you watch the game, you know what to do. We pull back the curtain on football's hidden machinery every week.